Growing on Instagram can be quite hard. And in this day, in this age, in this digital era where Instagram, all social media platforms keep on releasing new updates day in, day out, it might be very tedious. You're like, okay, what are the best tips for me to grow on Instagram? Well, hi, my name is Bolaji. I am the social media ogre, and welcome back to my channel where I give you the best tips on how to use social media the right way. Today, we're going to be talking about how to grow on Instagram. And as someone who has been able to grow an Instagram account from 0 to over 100K followers in the space of a year, I'm going to be sharing some of my top tips, my best tips, the one I have used, and the ones I can recommend for you to grow on Instagram. The first step is don't buy followers on Instagram. I know you want to grow. Growth is very hard and it definitely takes time, but you don't want to buy followers on Instagram because this not only damages your integrity, but it also harms your account. It is against Instagram's rules and regulation. Buying followers may result in like short-term goals, but after that, you start seeing that nobody's engaging with your content. You start seeing that nobody's leaving comments, nobody's liking posts, nobody's viewing stories. You see accounts that have over 200K followers, and you see them with 2 likes, 3 likes, or probably because they're both followers. So you want to make sure that you build a genuine following organically, and you want to attract quality followers who not just like your content and engage with your content, but they stay with you and become your community. And that's why I'm filming this video, so I can share how you can attract those followers that will stay with you and become your community. The second thing you want to do when it comes to growing on Instagram is optimizing your bio. Your Instagram bios should serve as the initial introduction to new visitors that land on your account. For example, this is my profile. You can see that when anyone lands on my account, they know that my name is Bolaji Ajibare, and they know that I am a social media director, a trainer, and a speaker. They also see that my goal is to teach you how to use social media the right way, and I put social media management there / basic content creation tips. This just let people know that this is what they're supposed to expect from me when they follow me. So you want to make sure that your Instagram bio is concise. You also want to include relevant keywords. So what are the relevant keywords that you can spot out in my bio? You can see social media management. You can see best content creation tips. Those are relevant keywords. You can see social media director. You can see trainer. You can see speaker. Those are my keywords. Where you want to be found, those are the keywords that you're going to put in your bio. You also want to incorporate a clear call to action. What's my clear call to action in my bio? I kept emails. Most times a lot of people are like, oh, I can't find your email. Even if there's a section on Instagram that is called the contact section where people can find your email. A lot of people don't want to go through that route. So what I did was I kept my email. You can see that there's the emoji with the box and there's my email so that people can literally reach out to me and say, okay, that's our email address. So if brands want to reach out to me or if anybody wants to reach out to me, and I can tell you a lot of people have been reaching out to me, just put your email and also put your location so that they know where it is that you're located. Because a lot of people are like, oh, she's in Nigeria. No, but when you come on my profile, you see that, oh, I am located in Manchester. You can also utilize a link in bio. So if you don't want to use the Instagram provision 5 links. So Instagram has a part where you can include up to 5 links on your profile. But if you don't want to use that, you can use a link in bio too. There's so many link in bio tools that exist. There is Mainstack. I use Mainstack. There's Linktree. There is latest link in bio too. I know Planoly just released a new one. So you can just do your research and find out which one works best for you and then use that as you proceed in your journey on growing on Instagram. Also, you want to make sure that you're leveraging on your Instagram story highlights. A lot of people sleep on their highlights. As a trainer, I've been able to put and create an highlight of all my speaking engagements. So when people land on my page, you'll be like, oh, she's probably has not trained anybody before. But when you check my highlights, you'll be like, oh, okay, she's actually done a whole lot of speaking engagements before. And it just cements that, okay, she actually knows what she's doing. So you want to put a lot of results, a lot of the things you do. If you share tips, you want to put a lot of them in your Instagram story highlights. You also want to use emojis sparingly for visual appeal. You can see on my bio, I kept the emoji with the laptop, the girl with the laptop, just so people know that I'm a tech girly and the email, like I said, and also the location piece. You don't want to bombard your bio with a lot of emojis, but you want to make sure that you put all of these things. It literally just gives it an appeal that, okay, you're not a robot. You can just check through other people's bios that are actually doing well, people that you emulate, and see how well are they doing it. Except if you want to be like a celebrity. Celebrities don't really care about the bio, but if you're someone who wants to grow their business or their brand, you want to check other people that have been able to successfully grow their business and their brand and see how exactly they've been doing things on their page, and be like, okay, maybe I can learn how to do this. You're not just copying them. You're just like, I can apply this into my business. I can apply this into my brand. And that's how you just position yourself there. Number 3 is you want to embed keywords into your username and your name. My handle is the social media ogre. Anybody looking for anything social media, I'm going to pop up because my handle has the social media. So if you want to pop up on anything, you need to also think of, it's not just a handle. The social media makes me searchable before the order comes in. So everybody's like social media manager, social media speaker, because there's social media in my handle, I'm definitely gonna pop up. So you want to also like think of, maybe start thinking of changing your username and just putting something that relates to social media, especially if you are a social media manager. The Instagram algorithm prioritizes search results containing keywords in the name and also the username. You want to make sure your username or your handle contains keywords of where you want to appear in. If you're a baker, for example, you want to make sure your username or your name has the baker in it. If you're a shoemaker, you want to put Bolaji/shoemaker in Manchester, Bolaji/baker in United Kingdom, if you don't want to just serve people in Manchester. Number 4, you want to put keywords in your caption and make them more descriptive. You want to know if people read captions, make a mistake, put a typo intentionally in your captions. I promise you, people will correct you. Make sure that the captions you write are relevant and descriptive, and use keywords. Don't just say hello, hi. Use keywords related to the post. If I'm making a post on social media management, I always give like a brief overview of what it is the post is talking about, so that when people search for it, I come up in the search results. Now, a lot of people go to the explore page and they type in what it is they're thinking. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's type in the word social media management, and you'll definitely see that one of my posts will pop up alongside other posts that actually talks about social media management. So if you're a baker, you want to talk about or always include something about baking in your caption, make it more descriptive. You don't want to just put it out, oh, I made a cake today. You want to talk about you being a baker, so that when people are looking for baker, they don't look for cake maker most times. They search for baker. So you want to always put something around baking, or I baked a cake instead of I made a cake. It just makes you more searchable. You want to make it more descriptive. I want to use SEO keywords. What are the keywords that when you are looking for something on Instagram, what are the keywords that you would commonly search for? These are the things that you would include in your description to make it more searchable. Number 5, you want to maintain a consistent posting schedule to actually grow on Instagram. Consistency is not by posting every day. Consistency is saying, I'm going to show up today. I'm going to show up on Wednesdays. I'm going to show up on Fridays, and sticking to that schedule. It just means that you never starve your audience of content. If you want to grow on Instagram, you want to make sure that you're using their platform, because if they notice that you're spending so much time on Instagram, they're going to push your content. However, I know you want to stay consistent. You want to make sure that you create quality content over quantity. You don't want to turn Instagram to a dumping ground. Number 6, you want to post at the time that is best for you. A lot of people be like, oh, I checked my Instagram analytics and it's telling me to post by 3 p.m. I'm checking my Instagram analytics. It says 12 p.m. is the right time to post. Well, my darling, the Instagram analytics is showing everybody the same thing. Yes. It's showing everybody the same thing. So if everybody's posting by 3 p.m., your post can get lost in the sea of other people that have like maybe a lot of followers than you. So post at the time that is convenient for you. For me, 8 a.m. is convenient for me. I just schedule my post, and then when it's 9 a.m., I come back to engage. Post the time that is convenient for you, and also condition your audience to actually come and engage with your post by that time. So what I do is I tell them on my stories, a post is going up, I put a countdown sticker and I let people know that, okay, this is the time that my post is going up. And then a lot of people come and people are like, oh my God, Balaji, how did you get so many engagements? I didn't. I already prepped my audience and they already know this is the time to engage with my post, or this is the time my post is going to go live. And then they are prepping themselves that, okay, I'm waiting for Balaji's post. And when my post drops, because they've been prepped on stories, it becomes easy for them to engage with my content. So you want to make sure that you post at the time that is best for you and not just the time Instagram says you should post. Number 7, you want to make sure that you're using the right hashtags. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, hashtags are dead. Hashtags are not dead. You want to make sure that you're using hashtags that make it easy for people to find your content. Like I showed you before, if you search for social media management, my posts are going to pop up because I always tag hashtag social media management, hashtag social media manager live, hashtag social media manager services, because my target audience is social media managers. So if you're a baker in Manchester, you want to use hashtag baker in Manchester, hashtag baker in the United Kingdom, hashtag baker in something else. When you do a research on most of these hashtags, you get to see that, okay, I can use this hashtag on my post, or this hashtag doesn't relate to me. So if you're a baker in the United Kingdom, why are you using hashtag baker in Nigeria or baker in Morocco? If you're not even in Africa, use the right hashtags for your particular post. And also, why do people use hashtag explore, hashtag explore page, hashtag viral? It doesn't make you go viral and it doesn't make you pop up on the explore page. Make sure that you use the hashtags that can expose your Instagram post to a larger audience and a targeted audience. Basically, what is the recommended number of hashtags, in case you ask me? Well, there's no limit to the number of hashtags you can use, but Instagram's limit is 30. How many hashtags would I recommend that you use on Instagram? I would say 3 to 5 that actually relate with the post. If you start using hashtags that have like a very high volume, it might be hard for you to get seen. So look at the targeted hashtags. You're a baker in Manchester, use the hashtag baker in Manchester. You're a mechanic in Manchester, use the hashtag mechanic in Manchester. And why am I using Manchester? I live in Manchester right now. So yeah. Number 8, you want to also create accessible Instagram content. Now, a lot of people ask me, what is accessible Instagram content? There are a lot of people that actually use Instagram that have vision impairment or experience blindness, but they actually use Instagram. I'm sure you must be wondering, how do they use Instagram? Well, with the use of alt text and also like reading posts aloud, you want to make sure you, number 1, a lot of people don't really see well. For someone like me, if I'm without my glasses, I have a little bit of vision impairment. Without my glasses, it becomes blurry. How do you create accessible Instagram content? Add subtitles or text overlays to your video content. Because a lot of people cannot also hear clearly, but they use Instagram, but they can see. If you add subtitles or text overlays to your video content, to your stories, to your posts, it becomes accessible content to them. Also, you want to write descriptive alt text for your Instagram post. There's a space on Instagram where you can write out alt text. So you want to write it and make sure it is very, very descriptive. When telling a story, always like include visual details. And also you want to capitalize each word in your hashtags. This makes it easier for people that use screen readers to read it aloud. I've actually noticed, especially when I started editing with CapCut, if you don't punctuate well, if you don't do the sentence cases well, it just reads it out like it's reading a very long script. But if you use the capital letters, you punctuate well, you do a lot of things, it reads it out as it should be read out. So you want to like capitalize each word in your Instagram hashtag for people that actually use screen readers. And also you want to create content that is screen reader friendly by limiting the use of emojis in your caption. When you put a lot of emojis in your caption instead of numbers or maybe hyphen, it just like makes it really hard for screen readers to actually interpret those emojis. If you try it, it sounds really weird. So you want to make sure you create accessible content for people that are blind, people that are deaf, people that have a little bit of partial blindness or visual impairment that also use Instagram. Because with inclusive content, more people can access and also consume your content. And this would help you result in higher engagement, new followers, and also a better Instagram experience overall. Number 9, you want to create more Instagram Reels. We're in the age where Instagram Reels is topping the charts. On Instagram, Reels actually stand out. On the Explore feed, they have their own personal page and everything. And they have their own tab on our Instagram apps. So you want to make sure that you create Reels the same way you create for TikTok. I know a lot of people that are killing it on Instagram Reels than they are on TikTok. How do you get optimal results when you're creating Reels on Instagram? Number one, avoid posting videos with a TikTok watermark or any other watermark at all. Always strive for high quality content. Don't just repurpose TikToks to Instagram with a watermark, because see, they didn't bring your account down. They'll tell you it's because you're posting with the TikTok watermark. They do that a lot. So Instagram says, I don't want this. Please don't do this. Number two, you want to create original content that actually resonates with your audience. A lot of people don't create original content that resonates with your audience. So you want to create original content that resonates with your audience. Number three, you want to also incorporate relevant keywords and hashtag in your Reels caption to accurately describe the video. Because if you don't describe the video well, it will not push it to the people that it's supposed to push it to. Number four, you want to leverage trending sounds. But trending sounds should not be your overall strategy. But you want to leverage trending sounds on Instagram that aligns with your brand identity and your overall strategy. Number five, you want to keep your Reels concise. You want to keep it straight to the point. You don't want it to be too ambiguous to encourage multiple views. Because if it's short, sweet, straight to the point, a lot of people are going to watch it. Especially if it is short. Because our attention span as humans, I don't know where it disappeared to, but we just have short attention spans. And number six, you need to add on-screen text for viewers without sound. A lot of people watch Reels without sound, so you want to make sure that you're adding on-screen text for them. Number 10, you want to create shareable content. A lot of people are not creating content that will want to make their audience share it. I create a lot of shareable content, and that's one of the reasons why my page, my personal brand, was able to grow faster. It might be hard for you to figure out what kind of shareable content you want to create, but with time, the more time you take to research and be like, okay, this content would actually resonate with my audience, you start creating more shareable content. If you want to reach new audiences, you need to create content that is worth sharing, because that is on its own a solid strategy to growing on Instagram. Number 11, you need to look at the numbers. You need to analyze high performing content. See, when I became a numbers girl on Instagram, I started growing fast. I started growing really fast. So what hashtags did you use? What went well? What did not go well? What CTA was working? Which post had the highest number of reach? Which post had the highest number of impression? Which stories had a lot of link clicks, link views? See, story tabs. Story tabs can help you measure the kind of stories a lot of people want to watch. I've been able to increase my story views. The least on a bad day, I get like 2,000 views on my stories. Now imagine what I get on the good day. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. So if your post achieves like a higher reach than expected, you can always leverage on that information. So always make sure you check your analytics. Don't just check the likes. Don't just check the shares. Yes, they're important, but reach, impression. How many people saw your post but did not like it? How many people reached out? How many people commented? How many people shared this post? How many people saved it? This would inform your strategy on what kind of content to focus on, what kind of content to create. And once you analyze it, you'll be able to say, oh, this shareable content is what is going to help me grow on Instagram. And see, there's no way you will grow on Instagram and you will make sales, except if you don't have a solid social media strategy that aligns with your business strategy. Finally, number 12, you want to talk to your audience in the comments and in the stories. Social media is all about being social. Don't just dump post and go away. Reply comments, reply DMs, reply stories, because a lot of people want to communicate in social. You have to be social. You're an introvert. Yes, I know you're an introvert, but why do you have an Instagram account if you're not going to reply comments, if you're not going to reply DMs? Why are you on social media? To cultivate a vibrant online community on Instagram, you need to actively engage with your audience. Responding to your comments, responding to your direct messages can be very, very overwhelming, especially when you've been able to grow to a particular point. Because trust me, when you go over 100 followers, you're not going to be able to reply to all comments. I have a post that has over 15,000 comments, and I'm like, who is going to be replying this one? I could not even reply to 100. So yeah, besides comments and your direct messages, most of your stories, reply to them. I try as much as possible to reply to them, because see, you guys, with 2,000 people watching my stories, at least 100 always reply, and it is overwhelming. That's what my DMs are always for. So try as much as possible to reply to your stories. In conclusion, while getting more Instagram followers won't automatically happen overnight, when you follow these steps and some of the strategies I have given to you, it will be easy for you to actually grow on Instagram. See, you guys, getting more followers on Instagram isn't a one-time affair. You have to keep showing up on this social media platform. You cannot say you want to grow on Instagram and you cannot dedicate at least 20 to 30 hours in a week to actually be on Instagram. You have to put in the work to actually see the results. And that's it for today, guys. If you found this helpful, please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.